The House Committee on Financial Services currently meeting, and the student loan debt crisis is clearly among the topics. Joining us on the phone is Consumer Bankers Association Vice President of Congressional Affairs, Kris Fallon. And Kris, thank you for joining us. You know, student debt is a big problem. We just had on Sheila Bair talking about one of the issues is that there really isn't transparency for people taking out loans, the kids who are taking out loans, to understand what they're getting into. Where does the government fail in that response, and why do perhaps, private banks do this better?
Great. Thank you for having me. First, let me say CBA believes the federal government has a role to play in helping students finance college, but the federal government today, and we have polling to support this, should focus on those that are most in need and let the private market help those families with means. So today, yes, there's a private federal student loan crisis. We've got $1.5 trillion in student loan debt. The Department of Education is essentially the nation's fifth largest bank. And so those loans actually have a double-digit default rate. In fact, 1 in 5 federal student loan borrowers today is either seriously delinquent or in default. So there's clearly a federal student loan crisis on our hands. And we believe private student loans are working very well for borrowers.
What's the default rate at the private banks?
Right now, we have 98% of our borrowers successfully repaying their loans. So less than 2% are being charged off.
So, Kris, we were just showing a graphic of the amount of debt that the federal government handles versus the private sector. I mean, it's dwarfed. Does the private sector even have the capacity to take on? I mean, how much capacity, let me ask that a different way, would the private banks have to take on debt? Because we're talking about a lot of flow here.
Sure, they absolutely have the capacity and they have the willingness to do more than the 8% that they're doing today. So clearly there's an unbalance right now in the student loan market with $1.4 trillion on the federal student loan portfolio. And we're seeing that borrowers are not being served well by that unbalance. But federal student loan borrowers are struggling.
On the other hand, though, I mean, it's not a pleasant thing to point out, but a lot of people would not get loans if we shifted from the government-backed system to more of a private system because, one, you're taking out a loan, someone who's never worked, to get an education where you're promising to pay back, and the private banks would say, look, we're not going to give you $200,000 to go get an acting degree, right?
Right. No, absolutely. And so, again, we believe there's a role for the federal government, but we also believe that the federal government should be more responsible than it is today because we don't want to set up borrowers for failure. And unfortunately, that's what's happening today in the federal student loan space. You have many parents who are taking out Parent Plus loans, knowing that they're never going to have the ability to repay those loans in some instances. So, the graduate loan space is another prime example where we've seen tuition increase significantly in recent years. And I think there's a direct correlation between the increase in federal aid and the increase in tuition rates.
Hey, Kris, Brian Chung here. So just quick question just about the information overload. I mean, it seems like for a lot of first-time college students, for example, who have parents that immigrated here in the United States, they just don't know what their options are. They don't really care if it's from the private sector. They don't care if it's from the government. They just want the best deal. And sometimes they don't know the best way to go about shopping for that. I know that there are government disclosures that are required on the private side, not so clear on the federal side. But what are you guys doing at the CBA to try to increase the transparency and just let consumers know what the options are for them?
Right. So we absolutely want borrowers to know their options. And to your point, they really don't have that information in front of them today. And it really starts with federal student loan disclosures. Right now, the disclosures that you get either from your college or university or the Department of Education are opaque. They are not personalized to you. So you have no idea what your monthly payment rate is going to be post-graduation. And that's a problem. So again, I think if we provide borrowers with better information up front so that they can make the best choice of the best college and university for them based on the price point of that university, and then knowing what their obligations are going to be on the back end.
Kris,
and today,
No, finish your thought. I was about to thank you, but finish your thought because this is an issue to, hundreds of thousands of people across the country.
Today, the federal government provides you dozens of pages of fine print legal jargon. And so a borrower doesn't have the key information that they need to be able to judge whether or not the federal student loan is a better option for them, or if they can look at a private student loan option. And on the private side, we offer 3 times during the loan process before loans are dispersed, we provide Truth in Lending Act disclosures. And these provide very clear, personalized disclosures of your interest rate, your monthly payment amount.
And you could also, on the private side, if you had to, God forbid, discharge that debt in bankruptcy if that became an issue down the road, right?
For both federal and private loans, they have the same treatment under the bankruptcy code.
Oh, so in a private, student loans are not dischargeable except in extreme cases under bankruptcy. Is that the same for a private loan?
Yes, that is the same for both types of loans. And again, you can discharge a loan. You will have to go through bankruptcy proceedings and show that it is causing undue hardship. But again, when you look at a private student loan and that 98% repayment rate, our borrowers are successfully graduating, getting jobs, and being able to repay the loan.
Kris Fallon of the Consumer Bankers Association, we appreciate you joining us on The Move.
Great. Thank you for having me.